I just checked on it, and I just wanted to show you. This is why you check on it for the first couple days. I squished it in the bag. I thought, oh yeah, it was kind of firm, and it's very firm, but I want to show you. See that? I squished it, and it really crumbles. It still will, it will go together, kind of, if I can get you a good view here, but it's acting very dry, and this is the stage that it goes to after fluffy, before it gets dense. This would have normally been tomorrow, but like I said, because I had that little mishap, and I added the extra starch, it's drier, so it's asking for more oil. Sometimes I'm wondering if maybe you could just add that oil, and it'll be too oily at first, and it'll eventually soak in. I've tried that. You still end up adding the extra oil. So, this is what I'm saying. This would normally be tomorrow. This is why we check on it for the first 2-3 days, okay? This is where it is right now. This is for sure we need to add the oil. And I'm not sure if we're going to have to do it again tomorrow. That's just something you're going to have to keep an eye on for the first, I said 3 days. It could be 4 days. It really depends on the batch. It depends on your, the humidity in your house, the whole bit. But what happens is, it gets to the point where it will not accept the oil, okay? You don't want to go beyond that point. You want to get it to where it actually just won't absorb the oil anymore. And then it's the perfect density. Before, when I checked this today and I added the oil, the density it's getting really good. I'm pretty sure, touch wood, that if I add the oil this time, this should be the last time, and it'll be the right texture because we're almost at the proper density now. So once I add this oil in here, we should be good to go. But this is exactly what it looks like before you have to add that last little bit of oil. This is it. So I'm going to get to it so it doesn't get too dry. And I know you guys, I said the tablespoon thing. I'm going to add another bloop. And you guys know what a bloop is, remember? Well, that's a bit more than a bloop. But you basically just mix it all in. And this is where I go by feel. You'll know by your dough. You're going to want it to have a little bit of a sheen on the outside. Not oily, greasy, gross sheen. Just a nice sheen. But the camera is not really picking up the powderiness of this. Well, you can see how I can crumble it like this. It might take more than a tablespoon. Just do it until your texture is good. You'll know. You will know. And I am going to add a bit more than what I just showed you because it's not there. So that might have been 2 tablespoons total. I'm guessing it was 2 tablespoons. And I really wish I had another camera person here to help me do this right now. I've been trying to get him to go to bed all night. And he just finally went to bed, and now I could use him. That's usually how it works. It's after 12, too. I can't believe I'm even still up. My dead time, I'm usually done at 10:30. But I can't sleep for some reason today. Isn't that the case? Normally I would be making a soap. So, yeah, she's feeling pretty good. And like I said, right by now, as you're at this stage when you're adding your last bit of oil, you can feel the denseness in the dough. Like, you'll know that it's like, oh yeah, it's not light and fluffy anymore. It's heavier. The size will be smaller than it was when you first made it. It literally drops down a full size. So you'll know. I probably don't really need to add any more oil to this. I just think I'm going to add a teeny tiny bit so that I don't have to add any tomorrow. But that doesn't always work. Sometimes you still have to add that extra bit. But I think that's it. Yeah, that feels right. You just go by feel. It's a textural thing. You'll know after you've made a couple batches just how it goes. So anyways, I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to roll it and squish it and knead it as you see I'm doing, because you don't need to watch me do this for the next 5-10 minutes. I'm going to do that. Make sure it's in there. You can tell by the texture. Yeah, it'll be a little bit sticky to your gloves, but that's okay. It does soak it up. But the trick is here, you'll just test it tomorrow. If it's like it was when I showed you earlier, you add a tiny bit more. But it will be at the point, usually 4 days, 3-4 days. This one, like I said, I screwed up by adding a bit of extra dry. I probably should have just left it, but I just, did it. But, and go from there, okay? Thanks, guys.